So I think the biggest question about this 2019 MVP discussion is what kind of Kawhi Leonard are we going to see with the Toronto Raptors? There's evidence to suggest he does not want to be in Toronto, and while I don't think he would not show up or request another trade, I could picture him just going like 80% the whole year. There is also still the fear with his injury. Of course, he may not be totally healthy. We don't really know that one either. But if we do get a healthy Kawhi Leonard, who is going 100%, then I could picture him being a prime candidate for the award because this team won 59 games last season, and Kawhi is better than DeRozan. And sure, Kyle Lowry is a year older, but the roster is almost the same. Their bench mob, which was one of the best lineups in the league last year, it doesn't have its center anymore because he was in the DeRozan deal, of course. But I don't think Jakob Poeltl being gone is going to kill this team's wins, and then, of course, Kawhi, if he's going to be that player who is one of the best guys in the league and going all out and trying to win for this team, then, yeah, I could picture a guy averaging, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, being the best defender in the league. Raptors win 63 games. If all that happens, then Kawhi could definitely be your 2019 MVP. Let's get to Kyrie Irving next. We're doing the Eastern Conference first. So, the Celtics could end up being the best team in the Eastern Conference. Even if everything that I just said with Kawhi does happen, Brad Stevens could lead these guys to a 65 or 66 win season, partly because the Eastern Conference is pretty rough at the bottom, so there's going to be some easy wins in there. But, they won 55 with Kyrie missing 20 games on top of course, the Gordon Hayward thing. Jaylen Brown gets better, Jason Tatum gets better, all that stuff. And could Kyrie just be the guy to be at the center of all that, right? Maybe he averages 26, 27 a game. Could even be a share under that because of how much the ball moves with the Celtics team. But still, Kyrie's going to be up there in terms of scoring, and if this team maybe even leads the league in victories, I could see that one, then, yeah, Kyrie has a very real shot at it. But at the same time, if you really start looking at the hierarchy of NBA players, as much as I love Kyrie Irving, he's simply not in that, elite of the elite, top 4 or 5 guys. So there's a chance that everything could go right for him, and even so, he's just simply not as good as, LeBron, Durant, and James Harden or whatever, and that knocks him out. I don't know, but he's definitely up there, and he's got a chance. You got to at least give him a shot. Now, Joel Embiid with Philly is interesting. The health is a big thing. There's a chance that he could just end up missing 20 games. He might not play enough minutes. I think it's the smart move for the Sixers to never have him going all out in the regular seasons and just be able to use him for as much as you want in the postseason. There's a chance that we never really see him playing like that in the regular season until maybe 5 years from now, who knows. And that is, of course, going to knock down your chances at the MVP. But if Embiid can put up mid-20s in points, be one of the best rebounders in the league, and then be, once again, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, because we've seen him transform Philadelphia on that side of the floor, then those are all the makings of an MVP. But can the Sixers be as good as the Raptors if Kawhi is going to go all out, and the Celtics? I don't know. It's Embiid's 3rd season. It's going to be Ben Simmons' 2nd year. Markelle Fultz is still going to have problems. I think Brett Brown is a pretty good head coach, but I think Brad Stevens has a leg up on him, which could be the difference between, the Celtics just having too many wins for Embiid to really have a chance in the award. I think he's definitely a little bit on the outside looking in, not totally because of him as a player, but more so the teams, but it should be mentioned anyway. Ben Simmons, I think, can be at least mentioned here as well. I think it's just not totally time yet for Ben. The jump shot is still going to hold back his scoring, and I know he's difficult as hell to stop going to the basket, but Still, I think while he could end up being like the 12th best player in the league this year, that's not an MVP candidate. We'll talk about Giannis now. Giannis is interesting because while I don't know how good the Bucks team really is in terms of talent and all that, they're definitely improved. I mean, Brook Lopez is the best center they've had in a minute. They still got Middleton. Ilyasova is at least going to space the floor out. Eric Bledsoe could be a bit more focused than he was in the playoffs. And then you've got Mike Budenholzer as a head coach. So, I mean, is it ridiculous to believe that Giannis just keeps on getting better and carves out something in his game, whether it's like a refined post game, a three-point jump shot, maybe he goes to another level as a playmaker, I don't know. Combine that with Mike Budenholzer, and the Bucks just kind of win like 57 games, and none of us really saw it coming. I'm not betting on that happening, but I'm at least going to leave the door open that it could. And with all that combined, and maybe Kawhi is clearly like not going like 100%, it's a possibility. A couple other things would have to go the Bucks' way, but I think it should at least be talked about for a little bit. We move on to the Western Conference. The thing with LeBron is, how good is this Lakers team really going to be? Because while I like most of the young dudes, I mean, I like Ingram, I like Lonzo, I like Kuzma, Josh Hart's good, KCP is cool. I think the center position needs some work, even if LeBron is going to play sometime there. I mean, that's all nice. It's just a team that, to me, doesn't scream out like top 3 seed in the West, Like, they could end up being the 4 or the 5 seed, and then for as good as LeBron is, they're just simply not good enough. Even if we all know that he is still the best player in the league, and because of how much of a robot the guy is at this point in terms of not declining, I think it's fair to expect that he'll still be the best player in the NBA. But in terms of MVP voting, I mean, I think there's some teams in the West that are just going to be better than his team. Now, if we fast forward a season and these guys get a second star combined with the young dudes improving, then I think LeBron maybe is in that discussion. Of course, age still matters at least somewhat with this guy. So there's LBJ. The Warriors, it's kind of the same narrative as it was last season. There's a chance that Steph Curry and Kevin Durant just kind of cross each other out because the degree of difficulty for these two is just simply not as high as it is for everybody else, right? I mean, if LeBron manages to get the Lakers to like the 2 or the 3 seed, then that's going to be more impressive than Kevin Durant and Steph Curry just doing their thing with the other guy helping them win games and all that. So there's those two. James Harden, who you could argue should really be going for his 3rd straight MVP, because I do think the year that Westbrook won it, James Harden should have won it. Is there a chance that he's just the MVP once again? Well, you look at the Rockets, right? Sure, they lost Trevor Ariza, they lost Mbah Moute. I feel like those losses are going to be bigger against the Warriors, but they're not going to make as much of an impact in the regular season, which is, of course, the point of the MVP award. So if Houston is the 2 seed in the West, or hell, maybe they'll be the 1 seed again, I don't know. And Harden puts up 28 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. These guys are, once again, the best or second best offense in the league. He could just win the MVP again, Part of me does feel like he is the best combination of like best team, degree of difficulty, where he is in his career right now, all that stuff just combined, and it could be Harden once again. We'll leave the door open for a couple guys in the Western Conference. One is Anthony Davis. He is going to be playing center now, I assume, and because of that, he may just average 30 points, 14 rebounds, and win Defensive Player of the Year. And if that's the case and the Pelicans get like the 3rd seed, then I think that gives him a real shot at it. And then you should at least keep Westbrook lingering, I believe. I think losing Carmelo Anthony will make the Thunder better. I don't love the Schroeder addition, but I don't think that's going to like kill the team or kill Westbrook's chances really at all. Now, similar to someone like Anthony Davis, the team's overall success is going to maybe be the thing that holds Westbrook back, but still, the guy went nuts when the talent around him wasn't the best, could do it now that Melo's gone. More possessions for him and Paul George. I think my pick is James Harden, though. And I think I'm going with James because, to me, the only players in the league that are better than him right now are LeBron, KD, and Steph, especially with so much uncertainty about Kawhi. And I just think, like, he's going to play better than Kyrie. He's going to be better than most guys in the league. And then the players who are either better than him or on his level, their teams are either not good enough, too good, or in the case of Kawhi, you just don't really know.